Well, that's one thing about it. You know, it's a tough time for us. We knew our schedule was going to be tough at this point. When you look at it at the beginning of the season, we faced some very tough teams. We stubbed our toe in a couple of games that we shouldn't have, but realistically, we played against some teams that are playing at a very high level right now. And again, we put together a good first half against OKC and an excellent second half against San Antonio. But again, you shouldn't have to get hit in the nose before you play that way. And we've got to string together 46 to 47 minutes of effort, and not effort, but focus and intensity, because those teams were playing at a playoff level and we were probably playing at a regular season level, and they were playing at a playoff level, and we got to get to that level going against these teams. Tomorrow night it's going to be the same thing for both halves.
What's the ingredients that have to be there? I mean, do you have enough vocal leaders to get you guys into that mindset?
Yeah, Kyle did a great job. DeMar does a job in his own way of talking to guys, but again, and that's the way it has to come from at this time of year, from within, understanding what is needed, whether it's a hug or kicking the behind. As coaches, we wear out our voices and our yelling and screaming. You only have so many words you can use in those situations, but I thought what Kyle did was great. And there's other times, JV may need a pat on the shoulder. Terrence Ross may need a hug or whatever it is. So, and that's what, being a good teammate, understanding the situation, what is needed at that time is all about. And our guys have done a good job with that. As far as handling those situations.
Several away games still to end the season, but you'll have some time spread out. Is the practice time I mean, it's always beneficial, but is it beneficial knowing that you're going into the playoffs?
Today was really good. We needed today. We had a good, brisk practice today, mainly focusing in on defense. Again, we got to get that up to a playoff level, and understanding what our game plans are each game and carry it out. And, we had a chance to do that today. So anytime you have a chance to go full bore in practice together, hard, the way we did today is always beneficial.
From what you saw this morning, did it look like that may have got their attention? What went on?
The intensity was there. Today we had a good, hard practice. Guys were talking, vocal, into it. Nobody's thrown in the towel. Everybody's locked in. Now we got to transfer it into the game. And play at a playoff level in the games, going against these teams that are fighting for the playoffs, and and that's got the transfer we got to make.
Do you find you need to remind them what's at stake in terms of, I mean, you're in first in the division, but momentum going in the playoffs, seeding, home court advantage. Do you need to remind them of that, or do they?
No, they know. Players know, Josh. They understand. They're smart. They understand. Again, a lot of us haven't been in this position before, and it's a different animal. But again, from within, we got to go out and put our foot forward. We're saying all the right things. I'm saying the right things. They're saying the right things. So now we got to go out in the court and do it. And again, we did it for one half against OKC and one half against San Antonio, two of the top teams in the West. And now we got to put more minutes together with that type of playoff basketball.
When you say it's a different animal, do you mean like having the good record and having teams come at you and going through adversity, or what do you mean by that?
Yes. In that situation, being on top and being the hunted, it's a big difference. I think it's easier to be the hunter than the hunted, and we're going through that. And teams are coming out playing for playoff spots in those situations. But again, they're playing at a playoff level, and we're playing at probably a regular season level, which against those teams won't get it done.
Miami is one of those teams. What have you seen from them in terms of a kind of change with Bosch out, Dragic in?
Well, Dragic has been huge for them. Their tempo pace is a little bit faster. He's a creator off the dribble, a little bit more than what they had before. Cole was a little bit more of a spot-up shooter. Chalmers more of a spot-up shooter. So he gives them a different element from that standpoint. Tyler Johnson's a young kid that has come in and shooting the ball well. Beasley, Bill Walker, D-League guys coming in playing well at a high level, and our guys probably haven't heard of a couple of those guys. But again, they're playing at a very high level. Everybody knows Dwane Wade, and he's doing his thing as far as penetrating, pump faking, attacking the paint, and taking what the game gives him. He's still doing that at a very high level.
Masai said the other night he's not that concerned about the offense. That'll kind of come around, but the defense was concerning. Is that the same way you see things?
Always. I've been saying that since day one, beginning of the year, since last summer. I've been saying that, and we've shown signs of it. And you know, again, we've got to do a concerted effort of putting that forth as far as playing defense. You know, some of it's personnel driven. We're asking some guys to do some things they physically can't do, but they've got to attempt to do it, and we've got to help them behind them. We got to, if those guys need a double team, we've got to get our double teams there. If those guys are having trouble getting them off the boards because they're small or whatever, we got to sandwich them and get there. So those are the things we're dealing with when it comes to defense. It's not like a lack of effort. It's, you know, some guys are physically unable to do some of the things, whether speed or quickness or size.
How do you explain where Amir went from the first half to the second in San Antonio? I mean,
He was a different animal. I tell you what, he played big time in the second half, you know, and totally different than he played against OKC. And consistency in everything we do is going to be huge from here in these last 18 games. And Amir played well in the second half, but again, you know, we got to do it for 46 to 47 minutes.